Hi friends, welcome to the 4th season of Dogs Afield. We're going to be traveling all over North America, filming wild bird hunts. I think we're going to have some great programming for you. Stick with us, a lot of fun ahead.
Dogs Afield, presented by Native Performance Dog Food, providing performance diets for the canine athlete, and brought to you in part by RST, manufacturers of short chamber, low pressure shot shells. Mud River Dog Products, fundamentally changing the expectations of the hunter and dog enthusiast. Pete Shoe Dryer, helping to start every hunting day with more comfort. And On Point Kennel, providing the finest in dog training equipment.
Hey folks, it's our annual visit to the Great Northeast Side-by-Side Shoot at Hausmann's Hidden Hollow, Friendsville, Pennsylvania. It's going to be a lot of fun. We always visit with a lot of Ernie Hausmann's vendors. They have great stuff. Enjoy. Well folks, here we are at the fun event of the year. This is Ernie Hausmann's Great Northeast Side-by-Side Shoot in Friendsville, Pennsylvania. And boy, I love to come down here every year. Ernie, welcome to Dogs Afield.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity to come. It's just a one. You know, Ernie, what I see here, everyone seems like a big family. You know, everyone gets along. They're wonderful people, and it shows that you've organized it well, and you've just got a great group of people. Now, how many states do you think are represented here by shooters?
20.
20?
If
Wow.
not more.
Yeah.
All the way from Hawaii,
Oh, my goodness.
Maine, all the Northeast, Carolinas, Virginia, Florida, Mississippi. Quite a few. Quite a few. And we're getting bigger every year.
Well, I can see that. You know, I came in yesterday afternoon on Friday, and the parking lot out in the field was just about full, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is Friday. What's Saturday going to be like? But, you know, you also have nice weather today. That's going to help, too.
And the weather's going to be a great, as far as our shoot goes this year. Rain has a tendency to deter people from shooting. But like I say, hey, everybody, you hunt in the rain, why not shoot in the rain? So hopefully we'll have a good turnout.
Oh, I think you will. And folks, I've got to tell you, you're going to see the greatest lineup of vendors. Ernie's got some tents, he's got barns just full of vendors. We're going to interview a few later on, but that's worth the trip just by itself. Ernie, thank you so much for being with us again this year, and thanks for the invitation.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Not kidding.
Well, it's just like the conversation came up, and it's great. It's really funny because you guys have a board. You've been in business for 100 years. It's an organization.
Hi friends, you know, we have an unconditional bond with our canine athlete friend. That bond is built upon respect. Reward that respect with a premium dog food. My Choice is native. It has no fillers, no soy, no wheat, no corn, no preservatives. It comes in 4 levels of fat and protein to meet the stress and activity level for your dog. Make the switch today. Native Performance Dog Food. Your dog will be happy, and so will you.
Well, folks, we're here in one of my favorite exhibits at the Great Northeast Side-by-Side Shoot. We're here with Cole Johnson. Cole, welcome to Dogs Afield.
Thank you.
Good. You know, Cole, I love your drawings here. They're just magnificent of these pointers. And I know that you have a history with Bob Whaley, and Bob was the developer of the LHU line, one of the great famous trainers of all time in this country. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Bob.
Well, it started quite a few years back, maybe 15 years ago, and Bob wanted to commission me to do LHU work. And he had met me at an exhibit up in the Thousand Islands in Clayton, New York. And had asked me if I'd ever done any work with English pointers, and I had said no, and asked me if I'd like to try some, and that's where it started. And the first piece I had ever done with him, and he kind of directed me on this. He was very particular about how these dogs would appear in a piece of artwork. So I started doing some workups, some preliminary drawings, and he would let me know if they were suitable or if they were not, and then I would do more work, and eventually produce this 4-dog piece. And each one of these dogs was very particular to him. He wanted me to do just, some of his best bloodline, and from that we started doing more and more work. And actually, because of the work I did with Bob, my popularity with sporting dog art grew very quickly, and I don't contribute that to very good art. I contribute it to his fame, because once I started doing work for Bob, I started getting jobs all over the country with English pointers, particularly Elhew, and so it was good for me. And I wound up on the cover of the Pointing Dog Journal one month, and that was years and years ago, but it wasn't an article about me. It was an article about Bob, but they used the piece, so it was very good. And, he and I became very close friends, and I would visit him both in his estate there in New York on the eastern shore of Lake Ontario, and also in the wintertime down in Alabama. He had a beautiful place down there as well, and that's where he would spend his winters.
Well, Cole, wonderful. I appreciate that that little history with your relationship with Bob, and it's great artwork. During this interview, we're going to do some cutaways, so folks will be seeing some different pieces. And thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, folks, we're here with one of the key exhibitors here at the Great Northeast Side-by-Side Shoot. We're here with Alex Papp of RST Shot Shells. Alex, welcome to Bird Dogs Afield.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. And of course, if you're a follower of Bird Dogs Afield, you know that RST is one of our greatest sponsors. They've been with us since the beginning. We love the shot shell. It's premium made, low pressure. You can't do any better. Alex, tell me a little bit about what we've got new coming up for this year.
Let's see. What do we have new this year? Well, we have some number 10 shot. We've got some, which we use for woodcock. Mm-hmm. And we put that in a spreader load. So it's a good close range on for woodcock. We do that in 12 gauge, 16, 20, and 28 gauge.
Oh, that's wonderful. Bird Dogs Afield is seen by a lot of grouse and woodcock hunters, so number 10 shot's going to be wonderful. I've got to tell you, folks, the one thing, and Alex doesn't talk about this much, but I'm a great fan of shooting a 2-inch shell in a 12 gauge for grouse. I have an old L.C. Smith side-by-side. I shoot this nice low pressure 2-inch shell. Tell me a little bit about your 2-inch 12 gauge shell.
Well, it's first of all, it's a roll crimped. It's not a star crimp, the end. It's a roll crimp with an overshot card. And it's a 7/8 ounce load. And we do it in paper and plastic hulls.
Folks, if you're an avid grouse hunter, you've got an old 12 gauge side-by-side sitting around, try it. You're really going to like that shell. Alex, as always, thank you so much for being with us, and hopefully we'll see you in the field this year.
Yeah, same here. I hope to see you in the field.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, folks, we're here with Paul Plunkett from the Fox Collectors Association. Paul, welcome to Bird Dogs Afield.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. It's always great to come up to the Northeast Side-by-Side. Ernie puts on a great show up here.
Good. Paul, my father was a great believer in the Fox. He had a Fox 12. His 12 was just the hardware version, the Sterlingworth, but he had some nice side-by-sides too. He always said that if gunsmiths depended upon fixing the Fox shotgun, they'd go out of business. It's a great gun. Tell me a little bit about your feeling and relationship with the Fox.
Well, I started young in Foxes. My grandfather actually bought a Fox new in 1928. He kind of passed along his love of Foxes to me. He had the same opinion of Fox, a very stout gun, very well built, and like I say, there's not much to go wrong with it. Very simple.
Yeah.
Inslee had a great design, and I've loved them ever since I started shooting them.
Tell me a little bit about the one you're holding.
This is an XE 12 gauge, pretty rare combination gun. It has 26-inch barrels, improved cylinder modified, built about 1929. It's in a very nice condition. It was originally delivered to a Thomas Bellaterre, is a hardware executive out of Boston, Massachusetts, and he imported fancy fencing, I guess it was. But very interesting gun, and I'm sure it was his pride and joy when he bought it.
Great, Paul. Thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you're out there, come up to the Northeast side-by-side. It's a great fun.
When you're ready there.
Okay, give him to me. Paul.
Good shoot.
Hi, folks. You know, we're here with Dan Rossiter, and Dan has a great gun custom stock company. Dan, welcome to Dogs Afield.
Well, thank you. Here at Custom Stocks and Steel, what we typically do is start with our client's original stock, build up a pattern to fit them, duplicate that, and then fit, finish, and checker the buttstock. That allows them to have a fitted gun with whatever grade of wood that they prefer.
Great. Now, this would kind of be a raw example here. That's what you start with.
Yeah, basically. This one is left oversized to fit the individual client. We could adapt this to fit many different people. And this is certainly one way to do it. And we could also get more specific than this and have the pattern be nearly exactly like the original or the intended product at the end. So.
Good. Why don't you show me a finished product?
Well, right here we have an XE Fox that we made made a new buttstock to fit and match the original forend, and this is built to the client's dimensions.
Perfect. Well, boy, Dan, it looks like awful nice work, and I appreciate you taking time.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, folks, we're here with one of the finest gun companies in the world. Actually, the only fine gun made in America today, Connecticut Shotgun. We're here with Lou, the marketing manager. Lou, welcome to Dogs Afield.
Hi, Paul. Great to be here. Thanks again.
No problem. It's my honor to be in a Connecticut Shotgun booth. You know, Lou, making these in America, you must have assembled a great team of artisans to do that. I mean, you're the only one that does this. Tell me how you did that.
Well, we basically have about 50 or 60 employees, and all they're doing is focused on making fine shotguns all day long. That's all they want to do, and that's all they know how to do, and that's the only passion that we have, and our people that work for is as passionate as anyone could be about making shotguns, and that's really what we really enjoy doing, is making high-quality shotguns in the United States.
Well, and I can verify that. It is a great gun. All right, Lou, show me what you got new.
First of all, the latest gun we have is a 410 side-by-side. It's on a scaled, teeny tiny little action. As you can see, the receiver is just barely bigger than a Snickers bar. It weighs about 5 pounds even. It's very light, but it's not whippy, very well balanced, and it's really the ultimate upland gun that you can find out there. Again, we're very proud of it, made by our artisans in New Britain, Connecticut, and it's just a terrific little gun that everybody really back at the shop's excited about. Secondly, we have a round action, over and under. This one's called the Inverness. As you can see, it's got pretty wood, single trigger, extremely rounded receiver. So if you're carrying a gun in the field all day, very, very easy on the hand. Very light gun. This one runs about 6 pounds, 4 ounces. And this is our latest gun. And it's built, again, in New Britain, Connecticut by our people. And it's just a terrific little, great upland gun. It's 20 gauge. You can get it with 28 or 30-inch barrels. They're all single trigger. They all have automatic ejectors. You get a straight grip or a pistol grip and some wood upgrades. And finally, we haven't left the sporting clays shooters out of the new product mix. What we have here is an A10 over and under full side lock competition gun. As you can see, it has adjustable buttstock, has adjustable comb, has palm swell, full side lock, and adjustable rib. It's also got ported barrels. That's an option. If you want it, we'll port the barrels for you. And if you don't, you prefer not to have it, we can omit that option. Again, it's a great gun, and people who have been shooting these guns really, really love them. And the best estimate that I can give to that is that when their friends see these guns, they call me and then they end up buying one as well. But this is our latest and greatest for the sporting clays market, and we're extremely, extremely proud of this gun.
Lou, as always, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, Paul, my pleasure entirely.
We need to take a real short break for our sponsors. We'll be right back. Hi, folks. You know, our training and hunting time is very precious and often limited. That means we have to go out and we have to hunt and train in all weather conditions, including rain. And if it's raining, we often have wet feet and wet boots. You know, you can't go out the next day with wet boots. You need dry boots, and that's why you need a peat dryer. With a peat dryer, you're going to have comfortable, dry, bone dry boots the next day. Also, a peat dryer is going to kill bacteria. That's important to the good health of your feet. With a peat dryer, dry and comfortable all day long. Buy a peat dryer today. You'll wonder how you ever got along without one. Well, I got to tell you, folks, we're here with an outstanding display of sporting antiques and books. Carol is the owner of Fairchase. Carol, welcome to Bird Dogs Afield.
Well, thank you. I've been doing sporting antiques and books for about 30 years and have lots of toys and goodies.
Well, that's just great. Carol, tell me a little bit about this pointer piece.
Pointer piece is by a new artist, Liz Lewis. They're editions of 25, and she does just magnificent work. She's a field person herself. She hunts, she shoots, and fishes, and does it all well enough to have shot for Beretta and had her own outfitting business. So she lives the life, and you can tell by the quality of her bronze work.
Boy, that's just a gorgeous piece. And, you know, I'm a very fond of the woodcock because I hunt the woodcock a lot. So is this also by Liz?
This is Liz's newest piece, woodcock. Eventually there'll be a grouse to go with him, but he's pretty special. He looks like a woodcock.
It sure does. That's gorgeous. And so you know, looking around your booth, and we're going to take some close-ups. Boy, you've got a lot of wonderful things for the dog enthusiasts. I see scarves. Tell me a little bit about your collection.
Well, I do almost all vintage items. I do old dog figurines. Most of my pieces have not been made for many years. So I do figurines. I do game plates. I have the vintage scarves, some old jewelry, some fine old books. Just about anything that would be appealing to a sportsman or a dog person, a breeder or a hunter. Just lots of nice things, and they change all the time.
Well, I agree. In fact, at another event last fall, I bought a nice scarf for my wife, and I'm very very envious of everything she has here. Carol, thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you too.
All right, I'll shake hands with you again. All right. Thank you, Carol.
Just because you have a goofy one doesn't mean it's like,
All right, folks, we're here with my good friend Chris Johnston, and he's going to tell us a little bit about a product here. He also has a customer right here. Chris, you're on.
Hey, well, this is a pleasure to see you again, Paul, and it's always nice to come up to the great Northeast side by side.
Isn't it?
And this gentleman is from L.C. Smith Collectors Organization, certainly a wonderful group, and you'll see a lot of the L.C. Smith guns. But I have something here which is quite unique. This is a shirt designed by a company named Braval, and it's called the Upper River Valley, and that's what they call it in Scotland. And so he's from Scotland. The owner and the creator of this brand is Gregor McCluskey, and you can't get much more Scots than Gregor McCluskey. But he wanted to design a shirt for somebody who enjoyed the outdoors, but which had some unique features. And so there are not many shirts that have this kind of venting, by the way. And I don't know about you, but even driving in the car, my back gets wet. But there's no shirt on the market that has this kind of venting. Also, this shirt is very flexible. There's a tab on the inside, and you can roll this up, and so you have a very lightweight, breathable shirt, but still you can make it a short sleeve, almost a short sleeve shirt. And then this is very clever. that there's a little pouch down here that you can see for a credit card or something like that, and that's sort of below the waist. And so also these shirts are from a Scottish wool called merino wool, 20% merino wool, which is machine wash, by the way, so you don't have to send this to the dry cleaner. And I came in from Michigan to display these shirts to you, and this various line of unique products. And I can wear this in Michigan almost 11 months out of the year, and it has a nice feel to it, by the way.
It's very nice.
Have you seen these before?
No.
Well, the company has been in business for about 8 years, and you'll see as you walk around, there'll be several shirts of the same kind of features. But there's a shooting variety that you see over there with a shoulder patch. Also can relate to a left-handed shooter because we have lefties. And then this is the typical fishing shirt. It's a boiled wool shirt over here.
I like that.
Sweater. And there are 2 chest pockets for fly boxes, 2 side pockets, and then you notice the sleeves come off. The sleeves so it can be a vest. And then the question is, say you're fishing and all of a sudden the sun comes out and some flies are coming off, and you say, well, gee, I want to get rid of these sleeves, and so what do I do with them? But there's a nice little pocket in back, so there are actually 5 pockets on that product right there. So all these were designed for the outdoorsman who with some unique features to it. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Good job. Well, folks, this is a treat. I'm with my good friend Charlie Spigner, who sells just about anything you want for hunting, bird hunting. Charlie, welcome to Dogs Afield.
Hey, welcome, Paul. Good seeing you again. You know, haven't seen you since last fall. Yeah, you know, the bird that we were after is there to your left over there. It's called a woodcock. So if we don't see any, you know why, because they're all here. Yeah.
Charlie's talking about a great trip we had in Maine last year hunting grouse and woodcock, and it was just a delightful time, and we're looking forward this fall again to returning to Maine. And Charlie, wasn't that a good time?
We had a great time. You know, the weather was great. The accommodations were great. I'm looking forward to it. You know, so before we left, you know, we made reservations for again this year. So, and I'm sure hoping that Stu comes because he's a great cook and you're a great host. So.
Well, thanks, Charlie. We did it. You know, not only was the weather good and the food good, we also had some great bird hunting.
We did. We found some new covers. I had hunted in that area before, but where we hunted was entirely different. And certainly our guide and host, Tom, showed us some new spots. So we're anxious to go back in there. So, but we'll be sure to have our GPSs again this year because you sure need it up there. Yeah.
You do need a GPS. Actually, you know, a good woodcock and grouse hunter never wants to give away his covers, but Charlie and I were at Sturtevant Pond Camps in Maine with Tom Rideout, and just a great host and a great place to stay and great bird hunting. And we look forward to doing it again this coming fall. Charlie, also tell me a little bit about your business here at the shoot.
Well, Paul, it's funny business, as you know. No, I really enjoy doing this since I've retired. It'll be my 18th year of retirement, and I got into this, and I met so many nice people that I started to expand a little bit. I do 2 shows a year. I do the Southern side-by-side shoot, and of course this is Hausmann Hidden Hollow. This is the American side-by-side. And it just, you know, I have a great time doing this, you know. It's a lot of work, but I love doing it. I really do.
Good, Charlie. Charlie, let's have a good time this fall.
Okay, Paul, I know we will. I know we will eat well.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Charlie.
I should say our dogs will eat too, because Paul usually brings all the dog food.
Good. That's right. All right, Charlie. Thank you. Well, folks, here we are with Mo Riley, and Mo is a very well-known sculptor in the wildlife art area. She's from Michigan, and we're going to talk a little bit about this special piece here, this English setter. Mo, first, welcome to Bird Dogs Afield.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This piece is actually a setter that I studied when I first came to these wonderful clay shoots. Her name is Cookie. She's originally from DeCoverly, which is a kennel in Pennsylvania. I'm sure everybody knows DeCoverly. And I had actually started out as a wildlife sculptor, but when I got introduced to this dog, I fell in love with sporting dogs and started focusing on the sporting dogs ever since. So she's kind of like the beginning of that whole process. And the nice thing for a sculptor is with the sporting dogs, you can get in front of them, you can actually feel their shoulders, and you can work with them and get their personality. Whereas with wildlife, you aren't really allowed to do that kind of stuff. So it's nice to, and now actually we own our own setter as well. So she actually started a whole new life for me.
Good. Mo, thank you so much, and great artwork. Quickly, tell me your website.
The website is msrileystudios.com.
Perfect. Thank you.
I don't know if you're already off the puck. Right? You need to practice hours ago. You need to practice. I did it hours ago.
Bird Dogs Afield, presented by Native Performance Dog Food, and brought to you in part by RST Shot Shells, Mud River Dog Products, Peach Shoe Dryer, and On Point Kennel.